U.S. and Iran. We're going to start 1850 to 1953. 1856 with the Treaty of Friendship and Commerce. Now, in all fairness, the United States was just a baby country. They've been around for about 100 years, so maybe they actually meant the whole friendship and commerce thing. You think? In the 1900s, Iran saw the United States as a disinterested third party there to counterbalance British and Russian imperial endeavors. Next era, 1953 to 1979. Ooh, this is going to be a doozy. 1953, there was a coup. I'll give you two guesses to who was running it, and the first one doesn't count. If you said the US, CIA, and the UK organized a coup, you would be exactly right. But tell me why. Because the democratically elected Prime Minister, Mossadegh, had the audacity, you guessed it, to nationalize oil. Well, it was Iranian oil, but you know, the US and the United Kingdom hate it when they do that. And the US would back the Shah of Iran, put him into power, where he would rule for the next 25 years. Of course it was authoritarian rule. What other kind of rule would it be? Now in 1957, Eisenhower would create something called the Atoms for Peace. And it's under this program that they get their first nuclear reactor. And nuclear material. I wonder if kicking out a democratically elected leader, installing an authoritarian Shah, and then giving nuclear material to that authoritarian government is ever going to be a problem in the future. I'll tell you what it got them. It got them revolution. 1979 to 2000. 1979 was the Islamic Revolution that brought into power, swept into power, the Ayatollah Khomeini. You have to understand, the Shah brought with it huge economic reform and prosperity under a very, very heavy hand of authoritarian dictatorship, which was primarily serving the interests of the United States. So support of the Ayatollah, and as they swept him into power, was a reaction of feeling like a puppet of the United States. Hint, this doesn't go well. During this revolution, the Shah of Iran is swept out of the country and taken to the United States and protected there, which leads to a hostage situation, a crisis at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. And in this crisis, 52 Americans were held for 444 days. Shout out to Canada. Has anyone seen Argo? We fixed this. You think this would be the worst of it, but you ain't seen nothing yet, guys. The U.S. then stepped into the Iran-Contra affair. So keep up, because this gets confusing. So in the 1980s, you have the Iran-Iraq War. And who is the United States supporting? Iraq. So they're sending weapons and they're selling military equipment to Iraq. But at the same time, the U.S. is selling arms to Iran. You heard that right? To help fund and support the Nicaraguan rebels in order to topple that government. There's a lot of multitasking going on here, but don't worry, they're making so much money off arms deals. Let's skip to 9/11, shall we? Because after 9/11, Iran actually secretly helps find the Taliban with the US. They're on the US's team at this point to hunt and destroy the Taliban that caused 9/11. However, in 2002, President Bush labels them one of the axes of evil that they are now going to have to combat after this terrorist attack, which they had nothing to do with, and they helped actually fight them after the encounter happened. So many backroom deals, my head's starting to hurt. I'll try to catch you up till now, but I'm not sure if I can get us all the way there. In 2015, you have Obama stepping into the fray, and he tries to create a joint comprehensive plan for action in which Iran can have a limited nuclear program in order to create nuclear energy while lifting sanctions and ensuring they're not actually building a nuclear weapon. And then in 2018, Trump takes office, well, he was already in office, and he withdraws from everything Obama did, withdrawing from the nuclear program, withdrawing from lifting economic sanctions, and goes full tilt with sanctions in order to force Iran from developing any nuclear program whatsoever. This all leads to a second Trump in office. Do you understand what happens? Because my head is spinning. All I can think about is they give, they take away, they give, they take away, and they're going to cause another revolution that we're going to live through. I wonder if we're going to do anything about it if we don't get any oil this time.